If you have tight hip flexors, you probably look like this. All right, look, I don't want you dealing with this problem anymore. Today I'm gonna show you how to loosen your hips just with a few stretches. All right, I'm gonna take you through a few of these that I do on a daily basis that I know a lot of athletes, a lot of people, like every walks of life, but definitely I'm coming after you lifters because you're watching this channel the most, and I'm gonna show you how to fix that right now. For these, you're gonna wanna take your shoes off. All right, you wanna get comfortable. Maybe you're gonna be doing this at home. You can also do it in the gym. But I'm gonna show you 3 stretches and where you probably feel the most pain. You have the adductors, okay, the inner part. And you have also hip flexors here. You ever see, people do adductors, you think of these movements. Adductors, you see that machine in the gym that you probably avoid. You also have the adductor, okay? Listen, abductor, ABD. Adductor, ADD, okay? You don't have actually something for the anterior part, the front of your hip, but anything that has to do with a hinge, okay? Anything where you feel a hinge, you feel tightness here, here. If you do it this side, you can feel tightness also here. You'll feel it, I would say you feel it mostly here in the inside, okay? Now, what other moves would I say? Okay, you got running, you got squats. When it comes to raising your legs here, okay? It also shows another form of tightness. So what I'm gonna do is first show you guys how to fix the anterior part, or how to fix that hinge. Number one, simple, get on one knee, and you just push your hip forward. All right, this is the basic hip flexor stretch. You push down as far as you can go, and you hold it, okay? This is the first static stretch. We're gonna go through static, and then we're gonna go through how to do it dynamically. So, static stretch in the basic form. Push your hips forward, slightly lean back. And then once you get comfortable, you can raise your hand a little bit more and keep pushing forward and reach back at the same time. If you want to statically do it, hold it for a few 20 to 30 seconds and then bring it back again to get further and further each time. Now, with this stretch, also do it another way, right? I know you got your hips, you can also feel it in your quads, okay? So your hip has a lot to do with your, the femur, right? It has all to do with this. This is all connected here. So what I'm gonna do is show you something that I do. It has been a game changer for me. It's a little more advanced, but if you have a wall, you definitely wanna try this. All right, this one can be difficult, but you're gonna need a wall. And the purpose of this is to also stretch your quads and your hips. This is more an advanced stretch, and trust me, I still have trouble with it. So you wanna get down as far as you can. Here we go. Now, you wanna close the gap. How much better than I was before. Now you feel it mostly quad, but this also will help you with tension in your hips. And this one is completely a static stretch. You come back and you hold it for a good 20 seconds. Slowly release just by moving forward, then bring it back again. You also get some stretch in your ankle doing that. Now I'm gonna show you guys how to do it dynamically. So I hit this 2 ways dynamically. I'm gonna show you guys the runner's lunge and the step back and reach, okay? Runner's lunge first. Simply, you want a wide stance, okay? And I'm basically getting this, I'm bending everything here with this knee. This knee is doing all the flexion, okay? This is extended here. So it's straight, and I'm going down as far as I can. The further down you go, you're gonna feel that hip stretch. This is the runner's lunge. You wanna bring this knee forward and keep this leg straight. and you do both sides for 10 or however much time you want to do it. Now, I'm gonna do a step back and reach. Simply almost the same foot position, but now I reach back, I step back up. This is not a lunge, even though a lunge can work, okay? If you were doing the lunge, this is one that's good too. It just takes a little bit longer. So, you can either do a reverse lunge and reach and just switch. This is what I showed you before. These are very effective, I do those too. Or simply step back. And I actually think this one is a little bit easier. Step back and reach. Okay? So, between both of those, well, between all three, I think the most effective one I just felt was the reverse lunge and reach. All right, my hips felt like they opened a can of whoop, beep. Okay, works. All right, number 2, we're gonna go over adductors, all right, the outer part of the hips where you guys also feel tightness, okay? A lot of people, like you saw in the video, they couldn't go maybe here, right? Some of this stuff has to do with sometimes the back of your hips, okay? The adductor part. So this is one of my favorites, and I'm gonna show you guys how I fix this statically first. You need a box or a bench. Now, I'm gonna show you both ways. I get on here, and it's called like the 90-90 stretch. I'm sure you guys are familiar with it, but all of that pressure that you feel, you're gonna feel it immediately right here. So, put your leg in an L-shaped position on this box. If you got tight hips, this is gonna already hurt. And I can already feel it. Okay, now, you wanna get it flat, and you wanna put this back knee down. Let me show you on this side. This knee has to go down. This leg has to try to go flat. So you sink, and once you're at a good sinking point, you lean forward. And you hold it, and this hurts. If you need help, take the other hand, push it down, lean down in towards your leg, towards the box or the bench, and keep driving this knee down. Ah, wow. Now, I say 20 to 30 seconds each leg. Every time you do it, I'm gonna say 20 seconds, release, go back down again. I mean, this is very effective. Like I do this, everything I'm showing you, I do before all of my leg days, and you can feel a huge difference, all right? So another angle, I want you guys to see it just from the front view. I don't know if you did. Watch my shoulders, see my leg. It's down, my leg is flat. Once I get to a hard position where I feel like I can't move anymore, I lean forward and add more pressure. That's how you handle it statically. Now, dynamic. You gotta go to the ground. The 90-90 stretch is very famous. I mean, you might have seen it, you might not know what it's called, but basically, you put in your leg starting here. Okay, you can also handle this so statically, it's almost just like the box. You can do it like this, but I just don't feel it as much as the box. That's been more effective for me. But 90-90 would just be you moving, right? Come to this side. Go down. I flip over. Now, I'm using my hands. Some people just go here. You might see the rotation, but I don't get as much stretch, okay? So I actually wanna get that stretch in. You know, it's not about fast, it's about what you feel, okay? So really rotate, use your hands, and push down in towards that hip, okay? You want it to hurt. If it hurts, it means you're doing something right. I'm not talking about injury, I'm talking about you feel like a good pain. Actually, no pain feels good, but you know what I mean, right? This is not going to give you an injury, this is gonna prevent injury. So if I was to do that, that's my first dynamic stretch. The other one, you see a lot of players do. Actually, I take it back. You see people do this one. I don't think it's that effective, okay? This is the other one that I do. I lay on my back, I cross. I put this leg here and I push back. Mosquitoes out here in Florida. I push, leading with that far side. Look, this is my push leg. I push back. This is also another good one. Push as far as you can. And trust me, these all work. Easy way to do this. This is actually a hard stretch. It's the frog stretch. Never gets easy. You push, all right, this is more an advanced stretch. And if I was to take you guys from like a baby standpoint, let's first start with the butterfly stretch, which is still hard. Butterfly stretch, put your feet as close as possible. You can't be out here, all right? You bring your feet in, you take your hands, put it on your ankles, and you push your legs down with your elbows. And this is still hard. I call it the baby one, but this is hard. Sometimes if I don't feel like I'm getting enough, I rock a little bit. And then you just push down as hard as you can. Take it up a notch. For a static stretch, this is the frog stretch. And this is super hard, all right? You gotta get your legs as far out as you can. Push your hips back. Whew, oh my goodness. And then you come down to your elbows and try to hold that position. This one never gets easy. I'm doing this in the gym every time I go. Oh my goodness. Does a job every time. All right, now, if I also do this dynamically, okay? Basically, you guys might see me in the gym kind of doing somewhat of a frog stretch, but I don't actually go all the way to the ground. You might see me put my hands here and just push my legs out, and I might rotate. Very similar, right? I want you guys to know, dynamically means just movement. It doesn't mean, like I'm gonna give you this analogy. You were about to cook, right? Imagine you're gonna work out, which means you're about to cook. And you are the meat, or whatever it is, you're the meat. You have to thaw it out first, right? You don't just throw frozen meat into the pan, you warm it up. So dynamically, just gets you warm. It's like thawing out. Static is gonna cool you down, so you should do it after you're done. But dynamically, if I'm gonna warm up this, I'm going with side lunges most of the time. Gonna see down. All right, you can hold this. This is good. This is a good static stretch as well. But I like to rotate. This is how I know I'm getting ready. Now, if I go laterally here with my foot, I can only get down but so much. But once I go here, yes, it still works. You can feel it in your hamstrings, but if you keep it with your foot forward, you're gonna get more of that adductor, all right, the inside that you're looking for. Now, when you do side lunges, you should be able to go down. All right, this is the benefit of all these movements. Let's do a check, all right? I do my side lunges. Now I can go down. The next check, squats. I used to be able to go here, right? Now, I can get down. All right, this shows me that your hip flexors are not tight. Here we go. Another move that you might be able to not do in the gym. You have reverse lunges. I can go down. You can do, this is more of a, what is this called? Curtsy, yeah, curtsy, you know. That's the curtsy lunge. No problem there. Anything, moving my hips to where I have to, you know, the whatever, opening, getting them up. This all becomes easier through the stretches I just showed you. So I just showed you guys 3 basic stretches, a few varieties of all, okay? you can do all of them, fit them in where it fits in your workout. So like I said, dynamic before, actually do some static before I do dynamic. If it makes any sense to you, I do static and then dynamic just to get, get it as much loose as I can because I want to perform every time I train. If this helps you guys train better, feel better, I did my job, all right? And you know what to come back to when you need some information. You're here with Josh Bailey. Like, share, subscribe. Keep coming back because I'm going to keep helping you get better. See you next time.